The warm, buttery scent of pancakes at the Sunrise Diner usually meant a moment of peace for Sara. It was a simple ritual, a small island of normalcy in a life that was far from simple. On this particular morning, the sun streamed through the windows, painting the classic diner in a soft, golden light. For a brief moment, everything was as it should be. Sara sat in her wheelchair at her favorite corner booth, the world outside feeling distant and unimportant. The clatter of plates and the low hum of conversation were the only sounds, a symphony of everyday life. It was supposed to be a quiet breakfast, but for the girl in the wheelchair, it was about to become a nightmare. That comfort was stolen when she noticed the group of boys at the next table. Their whispers were sharp, deliberate, meant to be heard. They were a discordant note in the peaceful atmosphere. Sara tried to ignore them, to focus on her food, to make herself small. But then one of them stood up. His movement was aggressive, filled with a cruel intention. He didn't just mock her with his words. He took a step forward and violently shoved her table. The force sent her glass of orange juice flying, a bright, sunny arc of normalcy crashing onto the checkered floor in an explosion of sound and sticky shame. The entire restaurant fell into a dead, heavy silence. All eyes were on her, yet suddenly, everyone found something fascinating on their own plates. Sara's hands trembled in her lap, her face flushed with a heat born not from anger, but from utter, soul-crushing humiliation. In that moment, Sara felt completely and utterly alone. Born with a condition that confined her to wheels, she had learned to build her strength from the inside out. Her father always told her that courage was her greatest weapon. Yet, facing this public torment, that weapon felt useless. The other patrons looked down. The waitress stood frozen, a pot of coffee in her hand, fear holding her in place. It was an older woman who finally moved, hurrying over with a napkin, her kind eyes offering a silent apology that couldn't undo the damage. The bullies laughed, proud of their power. Sara just wanted to vanish. She closed her eyes, praying for the moment to pass. Sometimes, the silence of bystanders is the loudest form of cruelty. Time passed. The tension in the diner eased, but the humiliation lingered like a stain. Sara remained in her booth, trapped not by her chair, but by the memory of what had just happened. Then something changed. It started as a low, growing rumble, a sound that was felt more than heard. It made the windows vibrate softly. A spoon rattled in a saucer. One by one, heads turned toward the large windows, curiosity replacing the quiet discomfort. Outside, a line of motorcycles rolled into the parking lot, their chrome gleaming in the morning sun. This wasn't just a group of riders. This was a well-known club, their leather vests bearing a crest that commanded respect. The bullies' smirks vanished, replaced by pale, nervous glances. The air grew thick. When the door swung open, the diner fell into a deep, heavy silence. The man who entered was a mountain of a person, his beard thick, his eyes scanning the room like a hawk. He moved with an authority that needed no words. His gaze swept over the terrified boys, taking in the scene with a sharp, assessing intelligence. You could see their bravado evaporate, replaced by a primal fear. They knew their moment of power was over. But the leader, a man named Jax, wasn't focused on them for long. His gaze swept past the bullies, and then it landed on Sara. And in that instant, his entire demeanor transformed. The hawk-like intensity softened into something else. Concern, understanding, a flicker of righteous anger. He didn't go to the bullies. He walked straight to her. His heavy boots echoed on the tile with a purpose that wasn't threatening, but deliberate. And then, he did the one thing that made all the difference. He knelt. He lowered his massive frame, bringing himself down to her eye level. For the first time all morning, Sara wasn't being looked down upon. She was being seen. Jack spoke in a voice that was quiet, a low rumble that carried absolute authority. He turned to the bullies. What he said to them, no one else could hear. It was a verdict delivered in a whisper, but the effect was immediate and profound. Their arrogance evaporated, leaving behind nothing but pure, unadulterated shame. Their shoulders slumped, Their eyes dropped to the floor. One by one, they stumbled over mumbled apologies, their words barely coherent. They slunk out of their booth and practically ran from the diner, not daring to look back. Outside, the wall of bikers stood, a silent, imposing jury ensuring their exit was as humiliating as their entrance had been cruel. But Jax wasn't finished. His mission wasn't just to remove the threat, it was to restore a sense of safety. He waved the waitress over, pressed $100 bill into her hand, and said, "Get this brave young lady anything she wants. On me." A simple act of kindness that began to heal the fabric of the morning. Then he did something that left everyone breathless. He carefully unstrapped his own weathered leather vest, the one with his club's colors and crest, a symbol of his identity and brotherhood. He draped it gently over Sara's shoulders. "You're under our protection now," he said softly. Tears of relief and gratitude finally streamed down Sara's face. These weren't tears of pain. They were tears of healing. The diner, once frozen in inaction, now erupted in soft, heartfelt applause. The waitress came and hugged Sara, promising her a free meal anytime. The atmosphere had transformed from one of cowardice to one of collective support and relief. In a single morning, Sara's faith in humanity was broken and then rebuilt by the most unexpected hands. It proved that courage wears many faces, and that family isn't always defined by blood. The strongest armor is often a simple gesture of profound kindness. This story is a powerful reminder that light can be found in the darkest of places. It shows us that one act of courage can change everything. At Human Soul Kindness, we believe in sharing these powerful tales that showcase the resilience of the human spirit. Stories like Sara's light up the darkness and remind us all of the good that exists. If this story moved you, please help us share this light. Show your support by liking this video, subscribing to the Human Soul Kindness channel, and sharing this story with someone who needs to see it today. Your engagement helps us find and tell more stories that matter. Thank you for watching, and remember, kindness is a strength we can all choose to wield.